What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After Season 8, Episode 19, and They All Lived. Let's get into Michael and Angela. So it's Christmas Eve. The whole family's having a Christmas Eve dinner. Everybody's there. Michael, Angela, Skylar, all the grandkids. So somehow or another, the question comes up of why isn't Michael taking any pictures since he's arrived in America? Michael tells the family that he's not taking pictures because he doesn't have his phone. So then they ask him, what happened to your phone? Where's your phone? So he keeps looking at Angela, waiting for her to explain to her family why he doesn't have his phone. And she never does, right? But later on, when she's alone in the kitchen with Skyla, she tells Skyla that the reason why Michael doesn't have his phone is because she broke it. And she broke his phone because she found out that he had not yet deleted the Paradise Men group chat. Now, he had told her that he did delete it, but messages were still popping up from that group chat. So when she asked him, why are you still getting messages if you deleted it? He says, well, once you're in the group chat, you're always going to get notifications from the group chat, even after you delete them. So Angela didn't believe that. They must have gotten into a horrible argument, and she ended up breaking his phone. So Skylar says, well, when you told him to delete the chat group, didn't that mean that you were deleting the evidence? I guess Angela's collecting as much evidence as possible to prove to immigration that he's nothing but a scam artist, and he was scamming her for a green card. So, of course, Angela didn't have an intelligent answer to that question as far as why are you making him delete the evidence that you need to prove that he's a scammer? So all she said to Skylar was, you know what? I don't want to think about anything negative. I don't want to talk about anything negative. I just want to enjoy my husband for his first couple of weeks in America. Moving on from there, we see Angela and Skyla on their way to see a private investigator because, yes, y'all, Angela is going to hire a private investigator to do some digging into Michael's life, into his past, present, and future to figure out whether or not he's actually scamming her for money, scamming her for a green card, and scamming her for anything else under the sun. So she's already very suspicious about because she bought him a new phone, y'all. So she ends up buying Michael a brand new phone. And she tells Skyla while they're driving to the PI that she had asked Michael to use his phone for something. So he goes into the bedroom to get the phone, but he took forever coming back out. So she goes into the bedroom to see exactly what was taking him so long. And she claims that she caught him red-handed doing something underhanded and nefarious on his phone. She didn't know exactly what, but he just acted guilty. So she's already really suspicious about, his most recent activities on his most recent phone. So they get to the PI and they tell the PI that they want to know if Michael is planning on leaving her because now that he's in America, he no longer needs her for anything. And you know how the whole thing goes with 90 Day Fiancé visas. Once you're married and the other party is in America now, the American is now responsible for them no matter what. No matter what goes on, no matter how they're getting along, how well or how horribly they're getting along. Now the American is going to be responsible for their foreign partner for however long. I think it's 10 years or something. So she wants to know if he plans on leaving her, but still use her to get legal in the United States. So Angela explains to the private investigator that Michael is or has been talking to another woman by the name of Cheetah. She said that she confronted him about this, and Michael had told her that Cheetah is not some woman he's having an affair with. It is a wife of a friend or whatever, and he's helping this couple try to get their immigration stuff together. So then Angela's like, how can he help them get their visa when he can't even get his own damn visa? It took him 7 long years just to get to this point. But supposedly he's such the expert that he's helping other people. So Angela also brings up how Michael was, how she saw on his phone that he was doing these searches for life insurance. Now, we saw this play out when they were still in the Ivory Coast, and that's when, she confiscated the previous phone and they got into that huge brawl. So when she mentions to the PI that Michael was doing research on life insurance, Skylar was like, he's doing research on what, Mama? Mama, he's trying to kill you. And I was just like, Skylar, are you serious? Are you serious right now? You're really going to say this about this man? When you look at Angela and you look at Michael, between the two of them, you're seeing potential killer vibes from Michael, not your own mother. Okay, fine. So She tells her mom, "Oh my God, mama, he's trying to kill you," just because he was doing research on life insurance policy. So the PI tells her that he wants all of Michael's social media profiles because he's going to be doing a deep dive into the dark web, the gray web, and some type of some surface internet searches to really figure out what Michael is all about. Where is he coming from? What are his intentions? What is he planning on doing? And the private eye also says that he has colleagues in Nigeria that are going to assist him in digging into Michael's life. We won't know the result of this private eye investigation until we get to the tell-all. Now, when I saw the previews for the tell-all, y'all, I was just a tad bit disappointed because I am not looking forward to all of these people living in one house. And the fact that the producers, obviously, as everybody knows when it comes to 90 Day Fiancé, the producers are doing all of this just to create drama, just to create fights, just to create tension and discord amongst everybody as much as possible. And that's why they're putting all these people together under one roof. And I just don't like how it is so purposely done that this is only to see, who's going to be fighting who, how many fights are going to break out, how crazy is it going to get, how much of a circus will this be? And I'm not really interested in that, y'all, because believe it or not, I'm one of those people. I'm like the remaining few that is still interested in people's journeys when they're living in separate countries and how they make these relationships work. And what happens when the other party is able to come to the United States or vice versa, and they're trying to start a new life together. One party has to get accustomed to a new culture, a new environment. What do they do with the language barrier? That's the stuff that I'm still interested in. But 90 Day Fiancé has lost its way so much that now it's all about fights and brawls and spousal abuse and people cheating on each other. And it's just extremely chaotic. But yeah, it is what it is. If it makes the money, I guess so be it. Moving on to Rob and Sophie. Y'all, I don't want to spend too much time on Rob and Sophie because this whole situation to me is absolutely nuts. Rob showed up at Kay's apartment where Sophie was staying to break up with her. So as he's breaking up with her, she can't take it. She gets up and she walks away. So then he's like, okay, she doesn't want to listen to me talk. I'm out of here. So he gets in his car and he starts to drive away. Well, as he's driving back home, she calls him and tells him to come back. So he comes back, they talk in the car. It's raining now, right? So she leaves Kay's apartment barefoot, goes out there in the rain. She starts hyperventilating in the car. She starts telling him that she doesn't understand why he's leaving her when she has sacrificed so much for him. She tells him, my mom doesn't like you, my friends didn't like you, and I still stayed with you through all of that. Did you though? Did you stay with him? Because as soon as y'all got married, before the ink on your marriage license was even dry, you were out of California, all the way halfway across the country, living with Kay in Texas. You and your husband have spent more time apart than you have been together, but you're talking about how you were trying to make it work and you still stayed with them through all the challenges. So she asked him, why did you break up with me? Why are you doing this to me? And he's basically telling her, it's not a you or me thing. It's just an us thing. And we're just not vibing. So it's time for us to go our separate ways. I don't know why she just doesn't accept that and let that man go. Somehow or another, she convinces him to come into the apartment. And I think she was just planning on him coming to the apartment so she can turn around and throw him back out. And so that she can have the last word, I guess. I don't know. Because when they got into the apartment, he tells her that he was feeling very lonely. He wakes up missing her because she's not there. And then she tells him, well, I don't want to be around you. So what are we doing, Sophie? Why can't Kay ask her those questions? You don't want to be around him. He's a horrible husband. He does all this online cheating on you, but you're begging him to come back to, extend this conversation. You don't want to be with him. He's telling you he doesn't want to be with you. So what are we doing, Sophie? Why are we going to the courthouse to file them papers and end this and dissolve this once and for all? I just don't understand what Sophie's doing. It's a lot of back and forth with her. She's like, well, you're just not you're not willing to change. And you're so mean to me. Every time she says, you're so mean to me, I cringe because it's like, you're a grown woman. Okay. You're 20 something years old, but you're living and acting like you are trying to be an adult. You left your home country to come to another country to be with this man. Okay. You're trying to portray yourself as an adult, but then you have these moments where you're like, oh, you're so mean to me. I don't get it. I don't understand what's going on with Sophie. The man wants to end it. For whatever reason, you don't want to end it. You want to continue to argue and you want to figure out why. The whys of whatever no longer matters. Sophie, that you don't want to be with him. Okay. His whys of what he did, it doesn't even matter. You know that you don't want to be with him because he's a cheater. He's a liar. He made you feel bad. He's so mean to you. then you should be happy that he wants to end it. He's making it easier for you to end it instead of trying to convince you to stay, and instead of chasing you all over this country trying to bring you back home. So I don't understand what's going on with Sophie. Let the man go, get this divorce, and let's just end it. Moving on to Kobe and Emily. These people piss me off even more than Rob and Sophie. If they have another if Kobe and Emily have another, oh my God, how are we going to tell my parents I'm pregnant, baby? I'm going to scream. Every single child that they've had an issue telling her parents that she's pregnant because for whatever reason, once again, she's a grown woman who wants to act like a little girl and can't just, man up and just tell her parents, y'all, I'm pregnant. Her son had to be the one to break the news. That little boy, her little 4, 5, 6-year old son, however old he is, was the one. He had enough guts to tell the parents that there's a baby in mommy's belly. So her parents just found out that she's pregnant for the 3rd time. And Emily's like, are you going to kick us out? And the parents are like, we got to do what we got to do. Okay, y'all got to get your own place. We don't care if you move into a hut, an igloo, a treehouse, or whatever. Y'all got to get the hell out of here because we have let this go on for far too long. Even if you got to rent, y'all got whatever y'all do it away from our house. And Kobe was in agreement. Kobe was like, yeah, Emily, even if we have to rent, we're just going to have to rent. So she didn't like that at all. She did not want to hear the word rent because she says the whole purpose of us staying with my parents for the past 5 years is for us to save enough money to buy our own home, to buy our forever home. And she's waiting to find the perfect home, the home that speaks to her, the home that calls out to her, the home that she feels like she can vibe with. And Kobe's like, you know what? We just need to get out of your parents' house. Okay, we need to get the hell out of your parents' house because this is just not fair. It's not right. Plus, on top of all of that, they had the agreement with her parents to not have any more children while they were still living with them. And they broke that promise. So you got to go. You broke the contract. You got to go. You got to go like yesterday. So she's another woman who is in her 30s. She's got 2 kids, about to have a third. And here she is. What am I going to tell my parents that I'm pregnant? It's just like, girl, if you were living in your own house and living an adult life, you'd be able to be like, Mom, Dad, I'm pregnant again. Go away, go into your own house, your own abode, get your own address, have as many children as you want to have, and stop being so scared of telling your parents that you're pregnant, like you're 16 years old or something. So to me, Emily comes off as extremely spoiled, and it's her parents' fault. Her parents created this creature. They spoiled her to death. And so that's why, she is the way she is. And I'm like, Kobe, good luck on all of that. Do I have anything else to say about them? No, I don't. I think I covered it all. Let's move on to Jasmine and Gino. Okay, some more nonsense. So it's after the pageant. Like I said, instead of basking in the glow of accomplishing her goal of doing or completing her first pageant and even winning a title, she wants to argue with Gino. She doesn't want to enjoy the moment of, coming off as a winner. She didn't win the main title, but she did win one of the subtitles. So instead of just enjoying that moment, she wants to argue with her husband. So she starts off by asking him, did you complete my paperwork for me to get my residency so that she can be able to travel to go see her children? Gino beats around the bush for the longest time, but finally says, well, I'm 80% complete. And she's like, you don't understand, idiot. I need these papers to go see my children. And he's like, go see your children if you want to go see your children so bad. So in her confessional, Jasmine tells her, well, it's so easy for him to tell me I can go see my children at any time because he knows once I leave the United States, I won't be able to come back. So in her way, he's trying to get rid of her. She even talks about how his main purpose in life is just to ruin her. She's so melodramatic. She's so over the top that nobody can take her seriously. So then when he tells her I'm 80% done, and he probably can't complete the damn application because he's constantly having to fight her and argue with her every 5 minutes. So then her next issue is her passport. She says, where's my passport? Ever since I came to Michigan, I've never had possession of my passport. You've kept my passport this whole time. And he says, well, I kept your passport so that you wouldn't lose it. But if you want your passport, here you go, sister. So he takes a passport, gives it to her, and he tells her, on top of all of that, here's your passport. You can go on and complete your own paperwork. I'm done. I'm done helping you out. You go ahead and you complete your own paperwork. So then she gets upset. She takes the bouquet of roses that he had given her for winning or for completing the pageant, and she throws the roses at him. He takes the roses. He throws them back at her. So she leaves. She goes downstairs to the front desk, and she puts another room on Gino's credit card because she can't stand the sight of him. I don't get it. I don't get it. It seems like to me that she's just trying to lay down the, because she's been on this thing about, oh, Gino's controlling. I don't have a voice in this relationship. He controls everything. I have no decision. I can't decide on anything. I have to follow him. I got to do what he says. And I think she's just trying to lay down the groundwork of justifying why she left him, possibly why she cheated on him, because the rumor is she's been seeing somebody else while she was still married and living with Gino, some guy that she met at the gym. I don't know how true these rumors are, y'all. I don't know. But allegedly, I think she was cheating on him. I have no idea. But her whole thing of being like, oh, I'm the victim. He's controlling me. He's, I don't have a voice. It's just like, girl, you're the one that scares the hell out of him. Have y'all seen Gino flinch whenever Jasmine will yell at him? I have seen this man literally flinch when she gets mad at him. When her anger gets to that level, he acts like he is scared to death of her. But then she wants us to believe that he's the one that's calling all the shots and controlling the situation. Moving on to Alexi and Lauren. So Alexi and Lauren go out with a few of their friends. And while they're sitting around having drinks, they're talking about her surgery. And her friends are like, oh my God, Lauren, you look amazing. And I'm like, where does she look any different than the way she looked before? I need y'all to like circle the differences. You know how you play that game on your phone, find the difference or what's the difference between two different scenes. I need y'all to circle the difference in where she's different post-surgery than she was pre-surgery, because I don't see it at all. So she brings up how she's going to have more surgery because they did too much of a fat transfer, which I didn't understand because I thought her next surgery was getting her breasts enlarged. So does she mean that they took fat from her breast to put in other parts of her body? I don't understand what's going on with too much fat transfer, i.e. I'm getting breast augmentation surgery. I don't understand. But anyway, so she talks about getting more surgery, and one of the friends at the table is a therapist. And so the therapist says, Lauren, no, we're not going to do that. You need to take the time first, to kind of recover from this surgery before you even think about another surgery. And if you do have body dysmorphia, because she talked about how she's got body dysmorphia, the friend said you need to get that treated. In fact, several people at the table said you need to take care of your body dysmorphia. If that's exactly what you have, because the surgeries will never end because you'll always find something wrong. And we all see something wrong in ourselves. We all see something that we would love to fix. But we're just like, this is what being human is all about. Noses are too big, butts are too flat, stomachs are too lumpy, whatever. This is just how it is. But for her, she has to have surgery because she talks about how she can't look at herself in the mirror, how she can't function, she has no confidence, so on and so forth. So Lauren and Alexi have a chance to talk privately. And Alexi tries to reassure her, you're beautiful as you are. I don't want you to change. I want you to accept yourself as you are, so on and so. I don't think she's listening to any of this. And the fact that she wants a second surgery, people were surprised about that. Her family was surprised. Her friends were surprised. But I think she had it in her mind all along that she was going to have additional surgeries. She just wasn't ready to tell everybody all at once. So she's going to do this whole thing about, I need to have this surgery for my self-confidence. I have to be a better Lauren. It's going to help me be a better wife and a better mother. So I need to have this surgery. And that, most likely they're going to relent because she's going to, she's going to be like a dog with a bone with it until she gets her surgery. So I don't think she's paying attention to what anybody's telling her, that you look fine, you look great, you don't need it. She's trying to achieve a certain type of ideal whatever, and she's just not going to stop until she gets it. That's my personal belief when it comes to Lauren. But I would hope and pray that she does end up accepting herself and that she doesn't get any more surgery, because Lauren looks great. She's a very attractive woman. I don't understand. But then again, maybe I don't have body dysmorphia. Maybe that's why I don't get it. Moving on to Ashley and Manuel. So they're still arguing about money. And I feel like a couple that has these many issues regarding money and finances, I don't think there's really a way out. I think this is just how it's going to be until it can't be like this no more, until the sexual chemistry wears thin. And then they're going to be left with the fact that, yeah, we really shouldn't be married. But anyway, so they're still at Manuel's birthday party at the winery or whatever it was that they went to. Everybody's asking Manuel, what happened to the $1,000 that Ashley gave you? He beats around the bush, and finally he says, it's gone. I spent it. I don't have it. And so they asked him, what happened to it? What did you spend it on? And he said that he sent it back to Ecuador to pay bills in Ecuador. Now, you know that he was lying, because as soon as that came out of his mouth, he flipped it to try to belittle Ashley, kind of like saying, well, what I did was wrong, but what you're doing is worse. Because he says, yeah, I spent it to pay bills in Ecuador because I care about paying my debts. Unlike you, Ashley, you don't care about paying your debts. So the way that he had immediately attacked her after he saw that he was being attacked for spending the money, I knew that he was lying. I knew that he was lying, because if he felt okay with paying his bills in Ecuador with that money, he would have said it from the very beginning. He would have told her as soon as he, got the money from her. He would have said, I'm going to spend some of this money to pay bills in Ecuador, if he was really okay with it. But obviously he wasn't okay with it, because I don't think that's what he did. Her mother even thinks that he sent it to his ex, which is, to me, is probably closer to the truth. So Ashley gets upset, and I don't know, she leaves or he leaves or they both left. I don't know how it went, but they're not in the winery anymore. And Manuel thinks that Ashley's mad because of him spending the money. Ashley says, I'm not mad about him spending the money on his bills or whatever. I'm mad that he didn't tell me, because we just had a conversation about being open and transparent with one another and being honest. And here he is lying to me again, hiding information again. Ashley, this is your life. Okay? This is your life. This is your life, Ashley. You and Manuel will always argue about money. Okay? As long as he feels like you're the one calling all the shots, you're the one trying to control the purse strings, this is how it's going to be. So, and I don't think Manuel has it in him to be honest and open with Ashley. I don't think he has it in him. I really don't think so. So Ashley, this is your life. You and him will forever and always constantly be bickering about money, and also be bickering about the fact that he's not open and honest about the things that he's doing behind your back, which will continue and will never stop. I think Manuel sees himself as having like two lives. He has a life here with Ashley, but he feels like he also has a life in Ecuador, which is separate and apart from his life with Ashley. And that's the biggest issue that Ashley had. She was like, I'm your family now. Me, your kids, your other relatives are all one big happy family, and you need to treat us as such, and not, keep me separate from everything else that's going on with your family. That's never going to happen. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about Manuel, but I don't think that in his mind, the two worlds are going to collide. Moving on to Patrick and Thais. This was really sweet and endearing. It's the baby's birthday party. Patrick has a chance to talk to his father. He tells his father exactly what he has been feeling for the majority of his life, that he felt really bad that his father abandoned him when he was a young boy. And the father was like, well, I know how you feel, because, hey, my dad did the same thing to me. And Patrick was like, well, that's no excuse for you to do it to me. Okay, you, of all people, knows how it feels to have a father leave you. So why would you do that to me? So the father apologizes. They come to an understanding. That's good. That's wonderful. Patrick talks about the apartment, saying that, I kept the apartment even though everybody told me to get rid of it, because there was a connection to you. And the father tells him, whether there's an apartment or no apartment, you're my son, I'm your father, there will always be a connection with us, which was really nice for him to say. But Patrick has to lay down the law and tells his dad, I'm going to keep the apartment. I'm going to continue to pay rent, but we're going to have boundaries, rules, and regulations. You're not going to charge whatever you want, collect whatever you want, whenever you want. We're going to have structure. We're going to have something in place that is going to be, fair for both of us. So the father agrees to that as well. They all give thanks to, or give praise to, Thais for bringing them together, because it was Thais that had encouraged Patrick to talk to the father and to have this conversation with him. Patrick talks about how, if it wasn't for Thais, this conversation wouldn't have happened. She's everything to me. She's the love of my life, etc., etc. So she was able to bring father and son together. But I think Thais was even more happy about the fact that her father gave Patrick the blessing than she was about anything that Patrick and his dad were able to patch up. That's just my personal opinion. Anyway, y'all, quick and simple. I'm dreading the tell-all. It looks like a hot mess. I am not looking forward to any of that mess, because it's contrived, it's manipulated, it's forced. I'm just not interested. Everybody's going to be playing up for the camera. Everybody's going to be big, trying to be big and bad for the camera. And so it's just going to be a bunch of buffoonery. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, please subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. And on your way out, rate the video. I think I already said that. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you later. Bye.